Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. We already discussed about the four suite of tools in very much detail regarding what are these tools about and what are the things we are having out there, and all the things are really discussed in very much detail in the previous videos, right? So today what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take up the difference between the IDE, between the RC and between the Webdriver. Today we are going to compare all of these threes, and according to that only we are going to see that what's the difference between these three suite of tools. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna begin here today, right? So let's get started with the things for now. Great. So first of all, I'll be mentioning of the very first difference regarding the IDE RC and the Webdriver. Okay, so the very first difference is that IDE, it's an add-on that is it's an add-on that is only supported it's an add-on that is only supported by the Firefox browser, by the Firefox browser. Okay, so IDE, it is an add-on that is only supported by the Firefox browser. Okay, this is the first respective thing which you are having out for this IDE. Okay, next, if I talk about the RC, so what's an RC? So I would write that it's an API. It's an API which supports Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari, and many more. Okay, and etc. So RC is our API which supports the Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari, and etc. Okay. And next, if I talk about the WebDriver, so WebDriver is that it works with every browser. It works with every browser like Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Opera, etc. OPERA, that's like this only, fine. So WebDriver is the one. WebDriver is another suite of tool. It works with the every browser like Firefox and all the browsers whichever you are having out, right? So this is the very basic difference between the IDE, RC, and WebDriver. That what are the respective browsers which they actually support out, right? So I hope that very first one is very much clear. Very first difference, okay. Now next, moving toward the second is that, okay, in completely IDE, what happens in IDE? It happens that it brings one of the most valuable record and playback feature. Okay, so in IDE, what is there? It has one of the most valuable records and the playback feature. Fine. Moving towards the RC. In RC, it happens that you can't use it. One second. That you can't use it for recording. You can't use it for recording and playback. Okay, so this RC is not used for recording and the playback. And in WebDriver, what happens? And WebDriver as well, it happens that you can't use it for recording. You can't use it for recording and playback. Fine. So this happens in regarding this playback and recording in the IDE, RC, and the WebDriver. Okay. Next, basically it goes that about the IDE. So IDE here is that its core engine, one second, right here. So its core engine depends on the JavaScript. So JavaScript is the language in which its core engine depends. If I talk about the other, so here is the JavaScript. JavaScript drives its core engine. So this is regarding the RC. And if I talk about the WebDriver, so it has, in that case, it has native integration. It has native integration with the browser. It has native integration with the browser. Fine. So this is the point number 3. That's the point number 3 difference regarding the RC, IDE and the WebDriver. Next, if I talk about the number 4, one second. If I talk about the number 4, so we can say actually that it has a okay, it's UI actually. It has a UI interface. It has a UI interface to work. It has a UI interface to work with the test scripts. It has a UI interface to work with the test scripts. Okay. If I talk about the RC right here, so for RC it has that it's a standalone Java application. It's a standalone Java application which runs HTML test suites, in the browser. So it's a standalone Java application which runs the HTML test suites in the browser. Fine. And if I talk about the WebDriver, so it is a full-fledged API. It is a full-fledged API and languages like Java. One second, let me get down. It is a full-fledged API and languages like Java, Python, etc. Okay. So this is the next difference regarding all of these three, which is IDE, RC and the WebDriver. Now moving towards the point number 5. So next point number 5, we can say that, one second. Let me get down. Great. So now here it is that, one second. Okay, here it is independent. It is independent of the Selenium server. It is independent of the Selenium server. It is independent of the Selenium server to run the script. So it is independent of the Selenium server to run up the test script. Actually, not the script, it's the test script, right? Next is that it uses the Selenium server. It uses the Selenium server before processing the test script. Okay, so it uses the Selenium server before processing the test script. Next is that Selenium server isn't needed anymore to run a script. Okay, so these are some 5 differences regarding the IDE, RC and the WebDriver, which we have discussed up right here in this respective video, right? So hope you got out the very clear idea regarding the differences between the IDE, RC and the WebDriver. That what are differences between these three? and how basically these can be categorized according to the differences. What are the differences in between all of these three, right? So hope I'm very much clear with this respective thing. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.